Hello and welcome to a form tracking tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll show how to set up form tracking to track a simple lead or contact form. We'll record sources of each lead, so things like UTM parameters, UTM source, UTM medium, UTM campaign, landing page, how the contact reached the website first, as well as referrer URL. So all data that allows to identify where the customer came from to a lead form and how they used the website before completing the web form. Additionally, we'll capture Google Analytics client ID, which allows to look up a specific visitor inside Google Analytics using Google Analytics User Explorer. I have a simple website set up here using WordPress, and this way of implementing form tracking also works with most CMSs and most WordPress forms plugins. So it works with Webflow. It also works with some pop-up widgets like Sumo that have pop-ups to capture customer contact details. To set up form tracking here, I'll use Able. Able is a customer data platform. It's actually a paid product. However, they have a free tier that allows to capture and browse details of people who complete sign-up forms. So that's exactly what we need, and it will remain free even after a trial expires. So to start, I go to the Able CDP website, click sign up, go into sign up form, and enter our website URL here. The sign-up process will go into the website. It tries to detect if there are any sign-up widgets in addition to forms it's using. So that's not something we really need to pay attention to. All we need is to scroll down and enter an email to get in. Once we are here, once we're inside the Able account, click Get Code and add the form that we need to track. So once the form URL pasted here, click Save and Refresh, and what happens now? Able goes into this form and it goes into this page and tries to find out which forms the page has and how they can be tracked, and identify any fields that are relevant to customer details. So it only captures the data that we need to look up the customer later. So in this case, it detects one form done using WordPress forms, and it detected first name and email, which is important as those fields will allow to find the user who completes the form in Able's database. If Able detects any of dynamic lead forms, they will be shown here. We're not using any, so just clicking Generate button, and it generates code. What happened now? Able generated this tracking code, and it's very lightweight. It's been optimized for the website and only has identifiers and specific details of actual forms on the website that need to be tracked. The next step would be to add this code to the website. Let's go back to the website into WordPress settings and add this code. Now we need to paste Able's tracking code to the website. There are different ways to do it. It doesn't matter which one is used. It can be installed into the heading section, can be installed into the footer, can be added using Google Tag Manager, GTM if you're using it. So for this demo, I'll just use the most, probably the oldest method. I'll go into Tools, Theme File Editor, and kind of hard code it into the theme. So I go into Tools, Theme File Editor, Patterns, Footer Default, and what it has details about the theme in the footer, and we'll just paste the Able's tracking code right here and save it. So one more thing we need to do is to add Google Analytics tracking code here as well, because we want to be recording Google Analytics client ID, and to record Google Analytics client ID, we have to have Google Analytics code that assigns that client ID to the browser, to the visitor. Now back to the Tools, Theme File Editor. Now go back to the Tools, Theme File Editor, Patterns, Footer Default, and paste the Google tag code here. Save it. And now we can test our tracking setup. One more thing to be mindful of before you test this is to make sure any caching plugins or any CDN caching are disabled for a while, or just reset. so that the website, when we go there, actually reflects the latest changes that were done to the theme. So by default in this WordPress setup, caching was on, so I think it comes from WordPress Super Cache plugin, and I go into settings, WordPress Super Cache, and just switch caching on to caching off, save it, and we're good to go. We're good to test it once it's saved. For this test, I'll do the test in an incognito browser window, which helps with not having to worry about any previously existing cookies or anything. So we're just emulating a session as if it's a new website visitor coming in. And just for test purposes, I'll add UTM parameters so we have something to actually show in tracking. So let's assume this visit was coming from a paid campaign. Doesn't matter how it's called, campaign 1. Maybe it was paid Google ad. So now we're tracking this visitor as coming to this website with UTM parameters set as in the browser's query string. So I go to sample page where the form is and do the test. Click submit. The form is being submitted, and we should have it tracked in Able. We're back to Able, and in Able dashboard, it shows that there have been a few page views it tracked, and it tracked one lead, which is exactly what we need. Go to Customer tab, and it shows this lead we just made. It was tracked, and it shows exactly the source of this lead. And it also allows, if you click on the customer, it also shows entire browsing history. So it's possible to see that first we've entered the website without any UTM parameters. Then there was another sort of paid visit, which is shown here. And this attribution will always be showing first touch attribution, so the logic it uses the first time we have any known referrer URL or any UTM sources, they will appear here, but they won't change if there are multiple ones. Multiple ones if using multiple like retargeting campaigns that create multiple visits to different paid traffic, they all will be shown here. What Able also allows to do, in addition to see how exactly this person browsed the website, if there are many of them, it allows to search by an email. So it allows to find the details about specific person, specific customer very quickly. How they came on the website, how they interacted with it, what have they done with the website, and so on. One more feature it has, it also stores Google Analytics user IDs or client IDs. So those identifiers let us go to Google Analytics and find this exact customer in Google Analytics User Explorer. This functionality is only a small portion of Able functionality. It will remain operational even after the trial expires.